So I don't know about you, but I'm excited, JJ. There's some cool lists in here. We're going to start with a villain. We're going to go villains first. So we have a blue Darth Revan list up. You want to take that list? This one Alex built, but if you want to go ahead, you can take the list.
Yeah. First. Absolutely. So we got Darth Revan here with the Night Sister layer here. We got 3 copies of Canis, 3 Kylo Rens of the new one, the set 5, 3 Onyx Brutes, 3 copies of the Secretive Sage, 2 copies of the Darth Revan's lightsabers, 3 Entrenched, 3 copies of General Grievous, 3 copies of the TIE SF, 2 copies of Make an Opening, 3 Power the Dark Sides, 3 copies of Darth Tyrannus, 3 Lieutenant Chilsons, 3 Talzin's Assassins, 3 copies of Shatterpoint, 2 Darth Malix, 3 Purgles, 2 copies of Ki Mundi, 3 No Glory Only Results, and then 3 copies of Anakin Skywalker. And then in the sideboard, we have 3 copies of the Pike Sentinels, 2 copies of the Takedowns, 1 additional Purgle, 2 copies of Supreme Leader Snoke and Avenger to round off the list on there. Definitely really strong list here for Darth Revan. Not only do you have what you need exactly with all the dark side cards for Darth Revan to come out there, you have some great early supports there. I do like the inclusion of having General Grievous there along with the lightsabers. Just to give him that extra lightsaber on there early on. He's definitely a really good target to take advantage of the Darth Revan, even if you're not using it on himself. And then on top of that, having that entrenched on there can be like a really strong piece just to kind of like guard the ground game and while the rest of the units going in and take out whatever you need to on the board there. Having a little bit of control with Power of the Dark Side is pretty nice, and Shatterpoint as well. You can get that off pretty consistently with this deck here as well. And you got quite a lot of blue units to have Lieutenant Chilson. You can bring in those Pike Sentinels if you need more Sentinel units out on the ground, so that way you can control that. My only criticism is not having enough of a space presence. I mean, yeah, you got the TIE SFs that can act as a Sentinel piece, and you got that healing with the TIE Brutes. But beyond that, feels a little light on the space. But yeah, still overall, this is a great deck. I like it.
Yeah, and I think because this deck is not built to be able to trade, right? Because you can be able to trade, give the experience token to it. I like the Grievous ad. I've actually been playing Grievous in my Kylo Ren deck. And I think here, I think some of the strategy here with the lower amount of space units, right, is you have a little bit less of a presence in space, but you have the ability to just essentially out aggro them. So you could control their board at first, and then you come in and you out aggro them.
Yeah.
And I will say, it looks like the Force is probably very easy to get. I'm very sad that Grievous doesn't have a Force trait, though, right? Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
He was trained to the Jedi arts. He wasn't given the Force.
Well, we don't know. Maybe he could use the Force, right? Could he have ever had that? I mean,
if you're saying that because Sabine Wren was able to learn how to use the Force, that Grievous could have learned to use the Force as well, then, maybe I'll agree with you there.
I mean, I'm just saying, you were wrong when it came to Sabine and the Force. So, I know that. We have proof of that. We have episodes where we discuss that, and you were 100% wrong. I think you still owe me for something for that. Now I got to go back and watch that episode and find out what you owe me.
Yeah, I probably owe you something. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it's a showcase. There you go. Maybe it's the next showcase you pull. Anyway, so the way the reason I like this list actually, and I think this list actually has legs. I've played it a couple of times. I don't have Grievouses in mine, personally, but I can see the value of it, and I also don't have the Make It Openings in mine either. Those are kind of different, more ads that's more of an Alex style than mine. But I have had this list, and I also didn't put the Chilsons in there for the pure fact that it's a one unit that I can't get off, but I guess I can see the value. He has quite a few blue cards in here, so he's probably most likely always going to get it off. But I did not put the Lieutenant Chilsons in there. I put I had Vaders. I had 3 Vaders in mine. That was kind of my additional take on it. but I like it. I think that I think I would probably replace maybe the making openings with fells is probably where I would put that. Probably what I would do. But
Yeah.
you can put entrenched on Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah.
And then now he's he's a 5/6 with overwhelm. Which is
That's
just
pretty nice, actually.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then he could kill things. He could kill things with the way he works, right? Is he could kill things, and then you can give him the experience token with Revan because of it.
Yeah, that's true.
And you also get card draw out of it. So you can you play your entrenched on them, you get a free card. So it's like you're paying 2 to draw a card or whatever. I guess in Alex's case, it's 2 for that or 2 for the Darth Revan's lightsaber. So yes, I like it. I'm happy that we're seeing some Darth Revan stuff, and I'm glad Alex kind of brought that to our attention. The next one we have is kind of like a Thrawn tempo deck that I've been playing around with. So this is for you, JJ. I built this in my thinking in you of in mind. And I've had some decent success with it. I think there's some more tweaking. And so I'll let me go through the list and then I'll explain some of the weird additions. And you and I could talk through this because
yeah.
I only have 1 super laser blast in here, which felt wrong, but I don't know. So I have 3 Owen Lars, 3 Sheehan Flurries, 2 Disruptive Shades, 3 of Director Krennic's, 3 Night Sister Warriors, 3 Bamboozled,
nice,
3 Shin T, 3 of the Power of the Dark Sides, 3 Waylay, 3 Shuttles, 2 Fells, 3 Vigilances, 3 Legacy Runs, 2 of the No Glories, 3 Anakins, 2 of the CR90s, 3 Chimeras, 3 Vaders, 1 Super Laser Blast, and 2 Avengers. In my sideboard, this is kind of like my testing, right? That's why there's like one-off type stuff in there. Like, so the one-off or the 2 of Tip the Scale is for hand stripping. And the 3 of Change of Hearts is essentially if I'm playing against something that has like crate dragons or these other things, I can take them from them. Everything else in there is just the additional. So like the Change of Hearts is my testing card, and the tip the scale is kind of my testing cards right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
The reason the Bamboozles are in there is because you have the ability to draw so many different cards. I will say those shuttles could be replaced by the shuttle that lets you draw the cards. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the 2/4
landing shuttle. Yeah,
landing shuttles. You could technically replace that in there, like that shuttle. That specific shuttle doesn't do a ton other than it's a 3/4 with the shield on it, and you can basically move the shield around to anything you want. So like it's designed to be able to if you have that and let's say a Vader, right? You now can move a shield to something, and when Vader swings, it could kill something. So you can play it later on in the game and activate and get your Vader active again. And then Vader becomes an even more important piece being on the board. So like this, because this one if you don't Sheehan Flurry Vader and you just play him straight up at 6, and then they have to make a choice between him and Thrawn to kill if they have a bunch of units. And if you've controlled their board really well, you don't have to worry about it. The other stupid gimmick, and I guess if people don't know about it, the other really dumb gimmick is the Legacy Run and the Chimera gimmick.
Oh yeah.
You can play Legacy Run and people will avoid killing that ship, and then you just play Chimera next turn, and
then trigger it.
Yeah, and you're triggering it, and then you can Thrawn that trigger.
Yeah.
So you can still do, and then you don't even have to kill the thing. You can still do 12 damage. It's whoever thought that card was a good idea, it's beyond me. Like somebody did not test this in Thrawn. Like I don't think this deck is like, oh my god, super amazing, right? But like it is still this deck is pretty great. I mean, and like Owen Lars is amazing because you could draw like 2 Anakins or an Anakin and a Vader if you wanted. It is, like there is only 12 force units in this deck, right? But Owen Lars typically is going to hit at least once, if not twice. And now you've got all these extra cards. And that's why I have Bamboozled in there, is because you can just dump cards, dump a yellow card if you need to be able to bamboozle something. And sometimes you have 2 bamboozles. So that's even better. My contemplation was to put Change of Hearts in main board for the Super Laser Tech and the Avenger, and only bring the stuff in if needed for like late game stuff, and make this like definitely more of a tempo deck. It's just really hard for me because I'm a control player, so like
yeah, absolutely. And I feel like Thrawn almost wants to play control regularly, but I do like the tempo in this a lot. It definitely feels really nice, especially since you have a lot of high end to help close the game as well. So if your opponent is not able to take care of your side easily, they're gonna have a hard time like ending the game, especially with all the restores that you have on there and that legacy run, which can help wipe the board. I'm so used to running Thrawn with OP, especially with like some of the big units that you have on the board on there. But still, this is a nice change. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and I think this, like, out of my Thrawn testing, this one and green are the highest ranking ones. This one feels more fun to run, and maybe it's just that stupid legacy run Chimera combo. Like, if they play, if I'm playing a legacy run and I play that down, and you only have like 1 unit on the board, kill that stupid ship. Just kill it. Be done with it. Like,
yeah,
and
exactly.
If people aren't running these no glories, right? Like, man, that's like. If you can no glory it, then it feels bad on my side. But if you don't have no glory, like, I don't know, like I think every villain deck has to run no glory right now.
Yeah, it's so good.
So, anything else on my Thrawn deck?
No, I like it. I definitely like to see what the final iteration will end up being for this one. This definitely has a lot of potential. I definitely like the new cards added on for yellow, and it feels really great.
All right. My last one, the last villain deck that we have for y'all is a Kylo Doubted Vault. So everybody's doing Kylo ECL. Everybody's got a Kylo ECL deck. And don't get me wrong, I'm running Kylo ECL in testing as well. But I then decided to say, well, what if I stop caring about ECL and stop building a whole deck just around the Vader thing? And so let me explain the difference between the ECL versus Data Vault, like in the theories, like and how I'm theory crafting, right? So the ECL version is I want to get 1 or 2 specific combos off, and I want to be able to hit my ramp faster. So in the ECL version, you essentially, if you run 12-ish upgrades, which is what I'm on average running 12 to 13 upgrades in my deck. The reason you would do, like, you could use the ECL is because if you think about it, like, if you think about like how Oscillator is, like the Oscillator lets you dig faster. Well, because this deck, because Kylo's ability is to discard a card to gain a card if you discard a upgrade. In the ECL version, it's so much easier to discard that and get another card. And so the ECL version specifically focuses directly right on that Vader combo. This is more of what I would consider more of a control build, right? Like this is not your end game is not Kylo flipping and like a couple of Avengers. You have actual end game in this, and you have the ability to bring back Vader quite a few times or Anakin quite a few times with your Pelt's Return. This on this side though, you lose your built-in ECL, so you do not just automatically get an ECL because you have to have a timely in row or in hand, which can be problematic. But you do get to draw so many cards with this deck. It's kind of inconsequential for it. Also, it's really hilarious if you play Grievous late game and then play lightsabers on them. Like that happens very rarely, but you could do that. So I had one game where the only thing I had in hand was 2 hero lightsabers and Grievous. And so I played Grievous and then the 2 hero lightsabers. That was what I played. And then they just they killed him anyway. He didn't actually get the swing, but I don't know. JJ, do you want to go over the deck? And then I could talk about kind of how the deck works.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got 3 copies of Timely Intervention. We got 3 copies of Dr. Pershing, 3 Infernal 4s, 2 Devotions, 2 copies of Entrenched and the Lightsaber. We got 1 Kylo lightsaber, 3 copies of Legal Authority, 3 General Grievuses, 3 Super Laser Techs, 3 TIE SFs, 3 Power of the Dark Sides, 3 copies of Resupply, 1 Jedi lightsaber, 3 copies of Rey, 2 No Glories, 2 Overwhelming Barrages, 3
Craven.
Craven Power. Yeah. 3 copies of the new Anakin, 3 copies of the new Darth Vader, 3 Palpatine Returns, 3 copies of Maul, 3 Reinforcement Walkers, and 3 copies of Avenger. And then over on the sideboard, we have 2 Relentless, 2 Snokes. We got 3 copies of Vigilance, 2 Top Targets, and 1 Restock to round off the sideboard list there.
Yep. And so the way this plays is similar to the ECL list. You essentially, your opening play is either a Pershing and a like Infernal 4, right? And the way you want to work this is you want to have an upgrade or 2 in your hand that you can get rid of. The Entrenched are not necessarily for any of your units. The Entrenched are actually more of a card to play on your opponent because you don't always play units, right? So like the idea with this list is every turn you want to discard and upgrade into your discard, and then essentially when you flip Kylo, you want to make sure you have 1 or 2 units on the board so they can't just power you.
Yeah.
And so the way that this list works is you're discarding 1 of these upgrade every turn. You're being able to draw a card. So like if you pull a hand that has like, let's say, a ramp card in it, a Timely, a Vader, and a couple of upgrades, you don't mull that hand. You keep that hand, and you keep that hand specifically because you can go ahead and get rid of that upgrade and draw another card. And by drawing the other card, you may draw into like a turn 1 play. And if not, you're just claiming and going to the next round, right? You know, it is what it is. But Rey is so good in this deck too. Like Rey is really, really good. I used to, in my ECL version, I run like another ship in space. I do not like that ship at all. And like now that I have more health and I don't have to worry about killing everything in space, I don't worry about that as much. But you could play like a Craven Power on a Rey. So you like turn 4, you could play Rey, then you can play Craven Power next turn. And it's like it's a super laser blast is what it is. Like it's a mini super laser blast.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
The other kind of key to this list is you are ramping pretty hard, so you want to balance what you kill and what you destroy versus that. So like if they have something on board like a turret, you want to get rid of that, but you don't have to play a bunch of units to be able to do that, and you're just discarding stuff. And then your end game no longer is just Kylo. Before, Kylo was like one of your end game pieces. This one allows you to be able to have that reinforcement walker or an Avenger or a Maul, and you're able to you can literally bring back Rey, Anakin, Darth Vader, or Maul from your discard pile with Palp's Return, which is just so greedy. Like it's just, that's why I play those in there. I will say, I think one of the changes that could be made is you could put Super Laser Blast in here. I just don't know what to cut, right? Like I don't know what you would cut out of this to put Super Laser Blast in here. But that was kind of the other idea, is what if you Super Laser Blasted the board before you played and you flip Kylo on 9 resources, which is an idea too.
Yeah, I mean, I like that as well. It's even if you have like units that you've equipped some of the stuff on there, right? And you Super Laser Blast because your opponent has more units out on the board than you. All those equipment pieces that you've had on your units that are in your discard pile, now you can now flip out Kylo and put on those equipment pieces onto Kylo to have a really big unit right off of that after that Super Laser Blast turn. So I think that's pretty nice. The only thing I would probably consider, I know that you want to like discard as many of those as possible. I don't know if I would necessarily keep the timely interventions as part of the main deck. I would actually consider having the ground unit Kylo right off the bat, because that is another entrenched opportunity for you to have, and you have that early unit that can put some pressure onto your opponent's side of the board until you ramp up to something much larger as well. Chances are they are going to end up killing that particular Kylo, but at least you have a unit out there early on that can do some damage to the enemy, and that serves as another form of control, and you're getting that overwhelm damage into the base as well. So that is something I would probably keep in mind for that. Other than that, this is pretty solid. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think I would replace the Grievuses for the Kylos. The Timelies are just too good with the Vader and the Anakins, man. Like it's just they're just they're so good, and they're good with the reinforcement walkers. Because you have
yeah, that's true.
You have the ability to draw cards twice and heal twice, and yeah. So like I can't get rid of I cannot get unfortunately Timely just has to be a thing right now, I think. But okay. I would consider putting Kylos in there over the Grievuses, or like I probably don't need all those hero lightsabers. Like I probably don't need that many. I could get rid of Kylo's lightsaber, because really the only reason Kylo's lightsaber is in there is purely for if you're playing against like No Good to Be Dead decks, or like bamboozled decks. They can strip things, but they can't like exhaust him, and I don't know. So like I think Kyle's lightsaber is just a nice to have. Like I could cut that and maybe something else and put the Kylos in. So maybe go down one heirloom lightsaber, maybe get rid of the Jedi lightsaber and the Kylo's lightsaber and put two Kylos in there. I could do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So all right. Well, that is all of the villain ones that we have today. We are going to now cover hero